Gigondas. Chateauneuf, you better be careful, because Gigondas is coming for you. We're just in a mood today, huh? Second week of January. Business is mediocre because you're all trying to pretend to not drink, so y'all can drink as much in February, twice as much in February, I should say. So, for all you January types, put this in your, maybe save this video, put it in your little Apple Wallet or folder or whatever kids do these days, and enjoy this one because the wine's pretty amazing. The story's great. Domaine Laier is in Gigondas. Now, Gigondas. When I say Chateauneuf, be careful. I'm pretty serious about that because Gigondas is in a very special spot that is primed to experience another level of greatness moving forward. We might have had discussion in the past with some other videos we've done with Gigondas, but just the whole concept of where they're located. As they're heading up into the foothills of the Dentelle de Montmirail as we head towards Ventoux, it's elevation, cooler, right? Cooler nights. This is critical in an area where it was already hot as balls. And with climate change, it's getting hotter as balls. And when that happens, the wines can become diffuse. They can become jammy. They can become porty. They can become heavy. All these things that people said Australian Shiraz was when their alcohol levels and pHs were actually lower than Napa Valley. But anyway, I digress. Chateauneuf is in a little bit of danger, but more the south side of Chateauneuf, right? North side's okay. But in Gigondas, you have a situation with this elevation, with these great old vines, with wonderful growers working the area there, a fabulous culture producing quality wines for years. Because Gigondas, they had to produce quality wine for a long time, because these guys were bucking forever to become an appellation. They weren't appellated until the 80s, mid-80s? God, I don't know. I'd have to look on the Wikipedia to find out exactly which year. But before, they were just Côte de Rhum. So there was always a struggle for them. They always wanted to be as good as Chateauneuf. They always wanted to be Chateauneuf's next door neighbor in quality as well as quantity and style. And they've not only have they succeeded in the past 15 or 20 years, but climate change has given them this little boost, this little kick in the pants, to where they're actually making finer wines, more balanced wines than we see in Chateauneuf-du-Pape now. Case in point, Bouissiere. So Antonin Faravel planted this property in the 60s. He knew 1971. Sweet baby Jesus. We drank a 67 Gigondas that was Côte de Rhone, but I thought it became a lot later. Oh no, Vacqueyras was the 80s. Sorry, Vacqueyras was the 80s. Don't flame me in the comments section. Thank you very much. Bouissiere, the Faravel family, second, third generation growers here in this neck of the woods. And one of the key things was Antonin Faravel, he was already ahead of the game with regards to elevation, looking to plant some of the highest vineyards in Gigondas. We're at closing in on 350 meters, right? So 1,100 feet or approximately, something like that. And when you have that elevation, you have those cool evenings. You have greater natural acidity. You have balance. You have freshness in the wine with all that Grenache richness and intensity. It's all kind of there. And as they get better at what they do, and as everyone figures out what's going on in Gigondas, the wines are becoming more and more and more compelling. We see almost as many 100-point wines from Gigondas nowadays as we do from Chateauneuf, right? It's happening. It's happening. This is an appellation that can hold its own with Chateauneuf. Now, the problem is some of these wines that are holding their own, they're getting pricey. So they have Chateauneuf pricing attached to them, which is fine, but a lot of people still think Gigondas is not quite the level of Chateauneuf. So what we have to do is find the Gigondas wines that still have that great old-time pricing on them, but with that next level of quality attached to them, right? And that's what we have with Bouissiere. Gilles and Thierry, the sons of Antonin, run the property now. They have a plethora of 50-plus-year-old vines, mostly Grenache, Syrah, and a little dollop of Mourvèdre, okay, in this neck of the woods. Now, what happens is in the cooler years, they probably don't put the Mourvedre in because it doesn't ripen fully. But in the warmer years, the Mourvedre provides this absolute little 3 or 4% secret weapon in the wine. So with these wines, we're probably talking about 75 73 Grenache, 20-something Syrah, and in a vintage like 22, I think there's probably a little dab of Mourvedre in here. All cement and old Foudre. Again, no new oak. This isn't a makeup wine. There's no artifice here. Native yeast fermented, just as clean and pure as it gets. And what I'm loving about Gigondas now is damn. The Syrah element here is crazy because Syrah in Chateauneuf kind of sticks out a little bit. It almost like this little bit of a sore thumb type thing. Like Syrah in Chateauneuf, like you sense it, you feel it, boom, straight away. The Syrah in Gigondas is kind of meshed in. It's like folded into the wine. It creates this like more dynamic package. The blend is out of control. But part of that reason, I think, is because the Grenache is at high elevation too. So the Grenache has good structure and grip and acidity and brightness. And the Syrah kind of plays right into that as opposed to getting really gooey, super high octane Grenache and then dumping kind of tannic, nervier Syrah on top of it so they don't kind of marry. Here, it's like a marriage. It's a beautiful marriage. And these guys don't do anything. They just grow great grapes. The cellar is simple as it gets. This is all just about, this really is about place. And this is with the top producers in Chateauneuf de Pape, okay? How do these wines age? Good question, glad you asked. If you put a Gigondas in the cellar for 10, 15 years, the wines start bringing on these almost Burgundian qualities. They almost get a bit Pinot-y because these wines are slightly higher toned than Chateauneuf when they're young. They have a little more verve to them. They're bright. I can feel the energy, like my mouth is alive right now. It's just, but with all the density, density, richness, and intensity of old vine Grenache. Boy, thought-provoking wine. Sometimes wines, they almost leave you speechless once in a while. You're like, good Lord, I'm trying to... And it's so Gigondas, but at the same time, there's another layer here. There's another layer of sophistication, of complexity, when in fact, like I said, this isn't about yeast, this isn't about barrels, this is about the vineyard. Stunning, 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 stunning. 94-point Spectator, which look at the other wines, other Gigondas wines, or Chateauneuf wines, what the hell? The Spectator gives 94 points too. You'll see a lot of triple-digit price range beverages in there. A ton. It's a big score for them. 93 points from Dunnick. And he called it basically just textbook. He said, this is as Gigondas as it gets. And he's right. $35 for this wine. I'm sorry, this is really, really high-class gear for $35. Positively enamored. I've always been a fan of Bouissiere, and nowadays the wines are better than they've ever been. What a stunning, stunning, beautiful bottle of wine. Oh, I love Rhone wines too. Rhone wines are easy to love. We love Rhone wines around here. So this is exactly the toughest call to make today, but